Okay, this is just a quick demonstration just to show you the main sort of navigation processes and components of the Feast software. When you start the Feast software, you'll get this welcome screen. This will include a list of recent files if you've created any, some details about the status of the database and the software. And then first of all, you've got these sort of central tools listed on the right hand side here, and this is about just either opening or creating a new project or extracting one that's been zipped up, exploring with the Project Explorer, or exploring the options and settings. Across the top here then you'll see these different tabs. Now the first one here is just an overview tab. Now this is there to just give you an understanding of the general concept of the software and the tools within it. So it sort of starts with the idea of maybe using your biodiversity monitoring data to understand the status of biodiversity on your farms in terms of the observations that have been made, and you can access the different tools there. Then having understanding of what biodiversity you've got on your farm, or perhaps what isn't there. You may want to then assess the performance of features or the landscape on your farm. And there's various tools for assessing performance metrics. Alongside that, we've got various mapping tools. So if you want to explore and express those performance metrics spatially, you can put them on a map to see the relevant strengths and weaknesses in the landscape for the different metrics that you select. So you've got various mapping tools that are available here, and then obviously once you've then understood strengths and weaknesses and plotted them on a map to see where they are, you then may want to start making some plans to make improvements, and so there's various other mapping tools or reporting facilities that are being developed. There's more to go in there over time, I expect, on how to then make improvements on the farm or in the landscape to improve biodiversity and ecosystem services. So that's the general concept, and hopefully over time things will improve. It's a sort of circle of continuous improvement is the sort of underlying concept from sort of environmental management systems. Then you can go on to the next tabs along here, and this just explains the tools available in each of those areas in more detail. So for biodiversity monitoring, you can create a new biodiversity monitoring database, a BMD file, or open an existing one. Then you can go into either the monitoring data tool, so you can import data or add new observations yourself, or then you may want to plot those observations on a map. Then we got various performance metrics, so we can first of all explore some of the metrics that are available using the Indicator Explorer here. We can then create or open an existing feature data file to actually create data about each feature on the farm, and then assess that. We can enter data using the Land and Feature Manager, which will then calculate any metrics that you've selected to be assessed. And then you can obviously explore those metrics spatially as well by opening a mapping interface to do spatial metric calculations as well. That leads us on to the sort of mapping tools. So we've also got tools that help us synchronize data between the features and the maps. We can actually open the biodiversity monitoring mapping tool. We can just view maps using a map viewer. We can explore spatial metrics I just mentioned. We can open the map editor, which is a more advanced facility, so that allows you to build maps, build up different layers, put in combinations of different layers so you can overlay them, combine perhaps your biodiversity monitoring data with your feature data to see how they align. And we've also got a map manager, so as you create different maps you may want to edit or delete some that you've previously created. And then on to planning and guidance. As I say, this is an evolving area, we haven't put a lot in here yet, but you've got various tools for creating reports. So if you want different outputs from the data analysis that you've done, you can do it in the report builder, or we can simply view some of the maps we've created without all the sort of editing tools associated with it. So it's a simple map viewer tool. There may be other things that go in here for maybe creating action plans and so on, but this is another area which is under development. So that gives you an overview of all the different tools and services. You can see how you just navigate by clicking on these different different options here. You can come back to the home screen here. As you saw, we were going along there, these different icons. You can see some of these also in the toolbar across the top here, and that just gives you direct access to all those tools without having to go through these tabs here. So it's just another place for navigating. And then once you're ready to roll, you can either create a new file from scratch, a new project, by clicking up here, or open an existing one, or you can open up an existing one that we've already got listed from recent files and just click on the file there to do that. And then you can access any of the tools that you want. So if we wanted to go into the farm and the field and feature data manager, you've got all your data here, so you can go in and just start editing the data, and you can see the outputs on the right hand side here. This is the data in the middle that you edit. Similarly, if you wanted to go in and start looking at the maps, we can open up the mapping interface, and so this is one that's been created earlier, and you can start editing the map here with different tools across the toolbar. Not going to demonstrate that here, that's for another demonstration help video. This just gives you an idea of how you simply go around. So it's all largely sort of icon driven, as you can see, and where it's not icon driven, you've got direct words hyperlinked on the screen. So again, we can just open up the map that we've just viewed here in the map viewer, so it gives you a nice clean environment for viewing that map and navigating around it and so on. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to show any more than that. It just gives you an idea of how you move around software and access the different tools. So we shall leave that there, and thank you for your time.